Hear ye, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if, not Naruto, what if Asta was the reincarnation of Gojo Satoru, Kakashi Hatake, and had metallic magic, part 4? Wait a minute, oh fuck, I forgot what part. Yep, part 4, definitely part 4, I did not just forget about it, but not the point. So, I rewatched, what's it called, part 3, like 2 days ago, not 2 days ago, yeah, 2 days ago, and I didn't actually like record it in the middle of the night because I was A, too damn tired, and B, had a very shitty sleep schedule. But not the point. Also, I did finish the Zaraki Kampachi one, the reincarnation one. I am going to try to finish the other ones, but before I go do that one, I am going to do what if Naruto was the bringer of the apocalypse, part 3. I will do that later. I will do a recap for it because it has been 1 month. But yeah, 1 month and almost to be like 2 months. But yeah, I haven't really been on my grind to kind of be recording what ifs. I've been kind of playing way too many games, or even watching YouTube entirely, or hearing music or whatever. I just haven't been really much on the grind that much. But yeah. So, let me actually just shut up and let me begin into this what if before I continue on, but yeah. So, we go into Asta. Asta is right now in the, out of the water crater, and of course, they're in the sea temple now. Not in, like, the sea temple, they're, like, right next to it, but yeah. Of course, this is where multiple people from, like, the underwater place and all that, those people are kind of like giving compliments to the Black Bulls, telling them to go up to kind of meet the Sea Temple leader, guardian, whatever. Of course, this is where they meet the old man. And of course, the old man says, "Ah, so you must be the Black Bulls, Magic Knights entirely. So, what can I do for you?" This is where Yami says, "We're looking for a magic stone." Magic stone. Well, not magic stone. He didn't say magic stone. This is where the old man says, "Ah, you might be looking for the magic stone. Let's play a game for it." Oh, the game will be called Let's Go Stab It. This is where, Noel was actually about to kill him. And of course, where he said, "Please don't kill me." That's where Asta and Nosh goes, "Well, that's interesting." Nosh says, "Can we just burn him?" Asta says, "Probably. I think we should just burn him." This is where the old man says, "Wait, no." This is where Magnus says, "Yeah, I think we should burn him. I think we should barbecue him, lighten him. I think we should just kill him in general." Gosh, Luck and Magna kind of just said, but yeah. This is where, the old man says, "Wait, no, don't kill me. For the love of God, I'm just kidding. The real game is a battle royale. Now, let's see if you people can fight against my magic, my battle royale knights here." This is where they all get teleported, and of course, Asta gets teleported. He realizes that Nosh isn't next to him. He gets quite annoyed. But of course, this is where he kind of keeps it calm. Unless Nosh is hurt, he will kind of be angry. But not the point. This is where, Asta is kind of walking around. And of course, this is where that one squid dude with the mask says, "I can barely sense a drop of magic from you. This is going to be easy." This is where, he got kicked in the stomach by Asta. Asta says, "Oops, did I do that? I'm sorry about it." This is where the old man says, "No fair! What the hell? That kid doesn't have a single drop of magic. I can barely even sense it." This is where Yami says, "You can barely sense it? Of course you can't sense it. Don't worry, the kid is going to be interesting here." This is where Asta says, "Curse energy red." This is where he blasts the man across multiple walls. This is where Asta says, "Pathetic." Well, now's the time to look for Nosh. Nosh is actually with Yami. Yami says, "Hey kid." Nosh says, "Wait, why am I not down there?" The old man says, "I can't let a kid." "How old are you?" 10. "Why are you in the Magic Knights?" Here with my brother here." "Still, why?" "Because," Yami says, "because he made a deal with me only if this little brat was also with us." It's quite annoying. This is where, which one is his brother? Is it the one with the kind of like curlish hair and have one eye cover or whatever? No. Shit, you're talking about Ghost? Nah. I don't think Ghost will even care. But no, it's the white hair one. And also that has a blindfold for basically his eyes and a mask. Why does he wear that? I don't know. Don't ask me. This is where Asta says, I have an idea, but I don't really want to tell you anything. Secrets are secrets. This is where, well, the old man says, fine. Well, every other battle is happening the same. Of course, this is where Asta meets Kyoto, and Kyoto says, you must be another magic knight. Hope you can fight me. This is where Kyoto is now fighting against him using dance moves. And of course, this is where Asta is kind of dodging it. Of course, this is every time Kyoto tried to stab into Asta, Luminous appears, kind of stopping him. This is where Kyoto is confused. Asta saying, interesting. I should probably look for my headband, just to make this way easier. This is where Asta's eyes goes into a crimson red with 3 tomoes in it. In each eye. This is where, well, Kyoto says, what is that? Don't worry about it. Kyoto says, whatever. He rushes at Asta, trying to cut him with his swords, and of course, Asta's dodging the shit so easily. Instead of now using Limitless, he's just reading the moves pretty easily. That's where Asta says, we? Are you gonna hit me? No? Okay, then don't hit me. This is where, well, Kyoto's saying, how can you read my moves? I should really tell you one thing, and one thing, a little secret for I want to tell you. I can read all your moves. I don't care how fucking annoying they are and how flexible you dancing or whatever. These eyes can read all your moves, and I can also do this, Genjutsu, darkness. This is where, well, Kyoto managed to look into Asta's eyes, and of course, where Kyoto is now somewhere in pure darkness. This is where Asta appears, kicking him in the stomach. Of course, Kyoto gets out of the Genjutsu because the Genjutsu kind of broke with a single just like pain, but yeah. Even though, like, what they call Genjutsu with eyes are kind of much stronger than just normal Genjutsu, but yeah. Asta just put a tiny little one that was actually the weakest Genjutsu that he needed to put, just so he can kick Kyoto and kind of make sure to kind of knock him out. Kyoto gets up because he wasn't fully knocked out. He was just shocked, dumbfounded, and best of all, still dumbfounded. This is where, well, Kyoto says, what was that? Don't worry about it. Asta, he creates 2 metallic swords out of nowhere. This is where Kyoto realized that Asta does have magic. But what's interesting, he couldn't sense it in the beginning. This is where the old man says, wait, he has magic? Yeah, he has metallic magic. Don't worry about it. Asta rushes at him with both of his iron swords, clashing with Kyoto. Of course, this is where Kyoto is trying to swing with his sword, but they're getting, like, blocked most of the time. And of course, Kyoto is getting hurt. He's getting cut most of the time. This is where Asta kind of kneed him in the fucking face. This is where Kyoto goes, damn, I'm gonna lose. He gets knocked down. Asta says, wow, pathetic. Asta puts his 2 metallic swords away. Mostly they kind of just disintegrated. Mostly it looks like they kind of did that, but mostly they kind of just turn to dust. And they turn to dust and go into a bottle. Asta has metals on him. He can't just like make metal right now. He can make it with his magic. He can create it. But most of the time he just uses the metals that he has in the container most of the time. So yeah. Of course, Asta's very limited to different metals. So yeah. So of course he can't just like create like multiple titanium swords at once, because titanium was a hard metal for him to even find in the fucking first place. But of course, he managed to find it anyway and managed to only be able to make it into a long katana. 1 long katana. It can make it into 2 tantos, but yeah. But only 1 long katana, but yeah. Of course, that's how he was fighting against Yami. That's why he made a golden sword instead of another titanium sword. Not because, well, it was because gold is a weak metal, yes, but he could have made an iron sword. But of course, he made a golden sword so the gold can bend. Of course, Asta was waiting for that so he can try to strike down Yami. Asta's a genius like level person. Like, he's pretty damn smart, how should I say? So his brain does work similar to Gojo's, like how it has to kind of keep running, but yeah. Thanks to Six Eyes and what's it called, Limitless, it helps Asta much, but yeah. Of course, Asta's also very experienced with different weapons, thanks to, well, Kakashi Hatake. Because Kakashi did kind of use a couple of weapons in his lifetime, like kunai, shurikens, tanto, somewhat katana sometimes, and even what's it called, Zabuza's sword. But yeah, So, of course, he's a little bit experienced with weapons, but yeah. And of course, since being a ninja, he's experienced a lot. Of course, where Asta, he kind of just walks away, and of course, keeps looking around. Of course, where, well, the Eye of the Midnight still attacks, and of course, where, well, Noel is trying to fight against Kyoto, but of course, Noel tries to send multiple water attacks, and instead of hitting, instead of hitting the wall, it hits Kyoto. Kyoto was pretty shocked and amazed, and saying, "You're doing good," and Noel was like, "Yeah, thanks." This is where, well, Junko was fighting against some random fish lady, but yeah, it was mostly some random like fish lady kind of person, but yeah, Magic Knight somewhat, but yeah. This is where, well, Junko's like, this is so boring. Where can I find anyone strong? This is where, well, Junko didn't manipulate her emotions to kind of making her really depressed, but yeah. This is where, well, something happens, and of course the Eye of the Midnight still attacks. Those 5, what's called different, what was it 5 or 4? 4 different, magic knights from the Eye of the Midnight kind of went to split up, and this is where, well, Magna, Luck, and even that one dude are right now fighting against, well, Vector, the guy of despair. And of course, well, Vector's in despair. He easily destroys him, and of course, this is where all the matches are now temporarily hold off and instead merge together to fight against, well, Vector, the despair dude. That's where, well, Asta just hearing him for the first time because Asta never actually fought him. Instead, Asta just was he at, like, the village. This is where, well, Asta gets the magic point because he can sense his magic. Of course, Asta has his blindfold, and he's walking straight towards Vector, the despair and all that. And this is where he says, a new human. This is where he rushes, and he tries to claw at Asta. He does manage to claw at Asta, but instead of hurting Asta, his claw just gets blocked. Well, absolute nothing. This is where Vector won his eyes. This is where he gets kicked in the face. Right now, getting launched up in the sky and smashing into the wall. Asta says, "Oh, my bad. I didn't actually meant to kick you that hard, you pathetic weakling." This is where Asta gets angry and says, "Ah, yeah!" Starts trying to attack Asta, and Asta's kind of blocking the attacks. Right now, fighting against him in hand-to-hand combat. This is where, well, Vector kind of just trying to punch at Asta, but he's getting punched in the face twice. Like, Asta punched him once in the face, and this is where the guy tries to, like, put his face back forward to see where Asta's at. Then gets punched again, and this is where, well, Asta say, "Oops, sorry about that." This is where Asta kind of stomps on both of Vector's feet and all that. This is where when he stomps on them, Vector kind of tries to claw at Asta with both hands. This is where Asta then puts both of his arms out, having Limitless still, pushing them away with Limitless. But this is where Asta then just knees this man right in the chin. Really not giving this shit anytime soon. This is where this man gets launched up to the air. But of course, he didn't get really launched up. It was mostly because thanks to Asta still stepping on one of this guy's feet. This is where when the guy kind of just gets pushed backwards, like falling down backwards, he then tries to get up with both of his legs kind of hitting the ground. But this is where Asta like twisted in the mid-air and kicked this guy in the side of the head, sending his ass to the wall. So yeah. Asta says, "Oh, you done or something?" This is where Vector says, "I'm not done." This is where Asta says, "Good. Purple Raikiri." This is where Asta's hand explodes with lightning purple. This is where Asta rushes to him, stabs him right in the chest. This is where Vector goes, "I won't die, forbidden eye, third eye." This is where, well, he summons out the third eye and says, "I won't die to someone like you." This is where Asta says, "You're angry." "But how can I ever? But still, you're pathetic. You're weak. You loser." This is where Asta is still being like Gojo, and of course, this is where, well, Vector goes rushing at Gojo, mostly Asta, and says, "Die!" This is where Asta dodges. He like ducks, knees this man right in the stomach again, right near the wound where Asta managed to do a purple Raikiri. And this is where Asta then just twisted underneath Vector. And this is where Asta and the side of this man, because the guy is still like in midair when he did get knee, but before kind of launching up, Asta twisted so fast underneath this guy, kind of going to like the, what's it called, right side of him, And this is where, well, Asta then smashes his leg up towards this guy's like ribs, smashing him further up in the what's it called, ceiling. This is where, well, he almost broke the ceiling. This is where the guy fell back down. This is where he says, "I won't die." Also says red, curse energy red. Boom! Blast him through a wall, smashing him upon, well, one of that dimension user. Dimension user saying, "Huh? You won't be able to escape." Yami says, "Damn it." That one dude gets killed by, well, his own kind of leader. Not on purpose, mostly on accident. Or it could be on purpose, but yeah. Asta says, that's interesting. Yami says, "Dark Cloak slash." This is where he managed to get out and start slashing at the beast dude. Beast dude says, "I won't die to any humans." This is where he rushes at, well, Yami. But this is where Asta appears saying, "Hello." Well, not appear right from Yami. Behind, well, the beast dude. This is where he says, "Curse energy blue." This is where, well, he pulls the guy towards him. This is where Asta then kicks him right in the back, like in the spine. This is where the beast goes. This is where, well, Yami sees the opportunity and says, "Dark Cloak slash dimension." Yeah, he actually managed to unlock something like that. He slashes at what to call the beast dude, and of course, this is where beast dude says, "No, I won't die." This is where Asta was almost about to get hit. His limitless actually managed to block it, almost like kind of deflect it a little bit before it actually cut him. But yeah, I also realized that Yami could actually kill him. Well, kind of. You think of it, dimension thing actually can cut through dimensions. Even though Asta's thing is not really much of a dimension, it's kind of limitless. Still, actually no, it didn't actually cut him. It just kind of stood there behind, well, the beast dude. The beast dude is now cut down into two. There were other magic knights from the Black Bulls and even the other people. They kind of fight against the other, like, what's it called, Eye of the Midnight. I managed to defeat them. Junko says, "Pathetic. I managed to manipulate them, one of them to actually killing them, so, heh." This is where, well, Noelle says, "Wow, you're always as sadistic as ever, Junko." Junko says, "Why, thank you." This is where, well, Nosh says, "Big brother." This is where, well, Asta says, "Yo, Nosh." This is where Asta's, like, his hair seems to be kind of dripping wet because of the sweat mostly, but yeah. He actually was kind of using a couple of techniques, and actually had to try a little bit. But didn't even use his metallic magic, because he realized that this metallic magic would not actually work against the beast dude. Probably the only metal that would probably be able to cut him was actually titanium. But he's not trying to get rid of his titanium if it shatters on this guy, because he's going to only be able to use only a, well, tanto. Because if it breaks, it breaks. He's fucked. So of course, also just use his curse techniques and his chakra techniques instead of just using, well, his magic instead. But of course, this is where, well, Asta is kind of just like going with what to call. Well, they started kind of getting the magic stone from Neru. Neru kind of goes to try to land on Asta, but when she tries to land on it, she can't actually land on Asta's head. Pretty much Limitless is stopping her. So of course she is shocked. Asta saying, "What the fuck is this bird doing here?" "Hey Nosh, wanna have some cooked bird?" Nosh says, "Cooked bird? Oh, yes I do." Nosh actually started getting hungry because yes, they did have cooked bird one time because they were outside almost in the sea, but yeah. And of course this is where everyone's like, "Hey, don't eat her." This is where, well, they don't actually know if Nero's a girl or not, but of course, Noelle and Junko kind of say, don't eat it, don't eat the bird." This is where Asta says, "Wait, why not?" This is where, well, they say, "Because it's a bird, it's adorable." This is where, well, Asta says, okay. Weird. Okay, whatever. This is where, well, they say, "Thank God I didn't eat them." This is where, well, they kind of hug Nero, but yeah. This is where we get out of the, water temple, and of course, this is where Kyoto and Kyoto weren't really hurt that much against the beast dude, but of course, Kyoto is right now blushing, saying, "Hey, Asta, you mind just taking off your shirt for once a little bit?" This is where, well, Kyoto kind of has a camera, and this is where, well, Kyoto says, "Wait, what? Sister, what are you doing?" What, huh? This is where Kyoto says, "Just let me." This is where, well, Asta says, "No, but I'm leaving anyway." Asta disappeared. He just snapped his finger and disappeared. But yeah, he appeared next to Noelle, and Noelle was actually blushing because, well, Asta can appear anywhere. And so, well, she is still shocked most of the time. But yeah. This is where, well, we go into, well, the outside, and of course, this is where, well, Juliet managed to get the magic stone. Of course, Asta is there with Yami and Charmy, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Finra is saying, why do I have to stay here? Because we have to. Now, shut up. This is where Yami said. Now, of course, this is where, well, Julius kind of gets the notification that they're getting attacked by, well, the Diamond Mages. And of course, this is where, well, something happens. Sorry. I'm burping most of the time, but not the point. This is where, well, Finra says, do I have to make a portal? This is where Yami says, of course, now let's go. This is where, well, Asta appears. Of course, Asta goes to save a lot of people from the Diamond Mages, easily killing them pretty easily with kunai. And of course, Asta then sees, well, fighting against two of the shiny generals. Asta appears right in front of Yuno. That's where Asta says, Curse Energy. Twin style red. That's where two balls of energy appears, and one Asta's index finger and the other in his middle finger. And this is where Asta just launches it straight to both of the shiny generals. They smash away from Asta, straight towards the wall, and beyond even further over there. Asta says, that's probably pathetic, don't you think, Yuno? You almost lost to some people. Pathetic, don't you think? Yuno says, Asta, wait, why are you here? You're not a magic knight. When the hell did you join a magic knight? A while ago when you left. I remember you telling me I should join the Golden Dawn. You want, instead of joining the Golden Dawn, I should join the Black Bulls. Yeah! This is where Yuno goes, what? But I offered you a fucking... Yeah. No, fuck you. Now, if you don't mind me, I'ma fight those shiny generals. Peace. This is where Asta snaps his finger. He's gone. Yuno say, Asta, no. This is where Asta appears right now. Taking out the shiny general super easily. Kind of kicking one in the face. Then kind of grabbing the other one. Smashing him to the ground. But yeah. He's saying, ha ha ha. You guys are weak. But yeah. Yo, my or whatever he says like in Japanese. But yeah. This is what, well. When Yuno managed to get there, he says, Asta, this is where both of the shiny generals are knocked the fuck out. They're gone. Their eyes are all blank. That's where Asta says, what? Oh, sorry about that. What, did I disrupt your fun? Did I destroy the fun that you were about to have? This is where, well, Yuno, like, clenches his fist and says, you bastard. What? You're really mad over me kind of, destroying your fun? I guess you're always so soft, just like when we were younger. This is where, well, Yuno says, that isn't what I came here to ask you about. Asta says, then what was it? This is where, well, Yuno says, what I came here to ask you for was what the fuck you meant about, what's it called? What the fuck you meant about the fact that you joined a Magic Knight squad. I offered you a job, Asta. Yeah, and I didn't want to take it. Well, now, what the fuck do you want anyway? This is what, well, Yuno says, you know you're such a bastard about things, right? I guess so. I guess you can call me a bastard. But hey, who really cares? And if you don't mind me, I'm gonna go back to my team. Asta disappeared away from Yuno. Yuno tried to kind of grab Asta, but of course Asta disappeared. That's where Yuno says, you fucking bastard, get over here. Of course, Asta disappears, goes towards his squad, and of course, Asta is right next towards, well, Finra and Charming. Of course, they're kind of evacuating people, but yeah. Of course, that one kind of like, what's it called? That one dude who actually uses mucus and all that, was kind of fighting as Longer. So Longer says, I'm gonna have to kill you easily. Well, it's a shame that those people will not have to be sacrifices. This is where Asta appears saying red. Boom! He blasts the mucus away, and this is where Asta grabs the shiny general from the collar and says, surprise, bitch! Smash him down to the ground. Of course, this is where Finra managed to kind of use his teleport magic to kind of grab all the civilians from actually not getting blasted away. This is where, well, Charmy does the same. This is where, well, Finra says, God damn it, Asta. Don't be so crazy about it. What? Who cares? It's fine. I didn't kill them. This is where, well, Longer says, oh, isn't my older brother, my pathetic older brother. How are you doing, my pathetic older brother of mine? This is where, well, Asta turns around and says, who the hell are you? I don't remember having a young little shit brother of mine. Besides, I wouldn't even take shit from a little spoiled brat like you. This is where, well, Longer says, huh? I'm not talking to you, you pathetic human. This is where Asta says, oh really? I'm pathetic. Ha! Says the one who's really weak as hell. Yeah, this is where, well, Longer says, why you Asta appears, grabbing him from the face and smashing him to the wall. Done. He's knocked the hell out. Asta says, well, that's done. I don't know who the hell he was, but who cares? Fenrir, Portal. Fenrir says, Asta? What? I don't care. Portal. Come on, let's get to freaking Yami. I'm already done with this shit. I want to go home or something. This is where, well, Fenrir decides to smile and says, sure, let's go then. He kind of felt bad for his little brother just get smashed down by Asta. Because when Fenrir saw Asta's battle against that one beast dude, Asta wasn't afraid. Instead, he was smiling. Yes, because Asta had his mask down when he was fighting him. But yeah, right now Asta does have his mask back up. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into a time skip later on. This is where before Asta goes towards the witch's place, a little thing kind of happened. Mostly they did get paid and all that. But of course, what's it called? Fenrir decides to bring Asta along in a, what's it called? What are they called again? What was it called again? Of course, Asta gets bring into a mixture with Luck also. And of course, Asta meets what's called a red-haired girl with kind of bluish eyes. This is where Rebecca is confused why the hell she got kind of put with the weird-looking guy with white and grayish hair defying gravity and a blindfold and a mask. This is where, well, the two other girls are kind of talking towards Fenrir and Luck is saying, battle? So Asta says, this is so annoying. Why did Nosh decide to... Well, not Nosh. He says, why am I here? This is where, well, what's it called? Rebecca's doing the same. This is where, well, two people are kind of spying on, well, the kind of mixer. This is where it's Junko and, well, Noelle. Noelle says, damn it. This is where Junko says, so you're falling in love with him. You're too, you dumbass. Junko says, you haven't even confessed your love. This is where, well, Noelle says, you too. Yeah, I'm not the only one here, fucker. This is where Junko says, I guess so. This is where, well, this is where Fenrir decides to bring up the ladies and kind of pull out a flower. But yeah, Luck kind of leaves Asta the table. And this is where both Rebecca and Asta are looking at each other. But mostly Asta, he's about to start eating because they brought food towards him, towards the table. And this is where Asta, he kind of pulls out his mask and starts eating. This is where Rebecca is confused. To see Asta's face is actually kind of a given blessing. But yeah, this is where Rebecca is kind of staring. And actually sees that's kind of, well, kind of like making her hot mostly. But yeah, this is where, well, she says, why is this actually, why? This is where, well, Asta says, you want food or something? This is where, well, Rebecca says, no, I'm fine. Why did my siblings make me join this stupid thing? This is where Asta says, siblings? Yeah. Also, my dumbass little brother made me kind of join this mixer thing. I didn't even want to go here. So I can kind of feel your pain. So when let's just keep eating, but yeah. This is where, well, Rebecca said, wait, you have siblings also? You know, this is quite annoying half the time. They start talking about sibling problems. And of course, this is where Asta talks about Nosh. And this is where, well, he says that this little brat always wants me to show him something new or something strong and something powerful. But yeah. And so Rebecca is kind of smiling, but yeah. This is where, well, Asta they were keep talking until this older dude kind of grabs Rebecca and says, you're that girl that always hangs around there or and blah, blah, blah. Asta says, hey, how about you let go of her? I should mention he didn't have a blindfold. He got like dark shade glasses. Also shows his crystallized blue eyes. And this is where Rebecca's face becomes nothing but red. And this is where, well, Noelle and Junko also had red faces. And they did have bloody noses, but at the same time. This is where, well, Asta says, I suggest you let go of her. This is where Asta, he created multiple needles out of, well, the metal that he still has on him. This is where it was mostly the spoons that were kind of made out of like steel. And of course, they transform into actually liquid, like, not needles, I would say, like spikes. This is where Asta says, I suggest you let go of her, unless you want to die now. This is where Asta's crystalline blue eyes makes everything looks not okay. He's pissed. This is where Asta says, you want to die now? Drunken says, oh, you wouldn't kill. This is where Asta says, you're right, I wouldn't kill you. Asta grabs him by the hand and throws his ass straight towards the one haha guy. This is where Asta didn't really care that much, but yeah. This is where Rebecca says, her face is nothing but red, but this is where the manager says, hey, this is where Rebecca grabs Asta from the arm and Asta says, wait, I haven't actually, damn it. This is where, well, they kind of get to the alleyway, and this is where Rebecca says, you should go to, what's it called, my restaurant if we want to eat. This one also says, that'll be fine. Is it okay if I can bring my sibling here? This is where, well, Rebecca says, yeah, it'll be fine. This is where Asta says, good. That little brat should really go out and kind of talk to other people. This is where, well, we go into a time skip of the next day, and of course, Asta kind of sees the restaurant, and of course, talk to Rebecca, and of course, her siblings. This is where, well, Nosh is also there, kind of brought along, but Nosh actually talks to someone that, well, Gojo is kind of going to go see. This is where when Gojo kind of sees, what's called Mary, kind of talking to Nosh. But of course, there's another kid with kind of like orangey bright hair, but it's another girl, and of course, she has orangey hair and all that, pretty long a little bit. Of course, this is where, well, it's kind of also not curly, mostly kind of long and slick a little bit. But of course, this is where, well, her eyes are kind of like a reddish color, and her name is Fiona. What's it called? Wait, let me remember. Her name is Phoenixia, and of course, this is where, well, she kind of is laughing next to Nosh, and of course, Nosh is smiling. This is where, well, Gojo says, hey, brat, get away from my sister, with this death glare. I was just talking to Rebecca, and of course, this is where Nosh says, huh? Wait, who are you? This is where Mary says, hey, leave him alone, Gojo. This is where Gojo has turned into stone. This is where he gets more angry, and this is where he's about to try to kill, well, Nosh from behind with a mirror. And this is where Phoenix says, Nosh! This is where Asta appears, grabbing the mirror and destroying it in an instant, appearing right in front of Gojo and saying, hey, do you really want to die now? This is where Asta's eyes are actually in a cold crystallized blue eyes. Of course, Asta didn't have his glasses off. This is where Gojo says, what is your little brother doing next to my sister? Like I said, they're only talking. They're friends. Wanna really die, Gojo? This is where, well, Gojo says, just stay up. This is where Asta says, I'm not letting you touch him anyway. This is where Asta says, red. This is where he blasts Gojo straight towards multiple walls and says, sit down. This is where, well, the church of, yeah, that one place, kind of says, Mary and other Figina, or, Finica. This is where, well, both of them turns around and say, Mother Teresa, you're here. This is where, well, Teresa says, Finica and Mary, are you two okay? This is where Finica says, that man tries to hurt my friend Nosh. This is where Nosh says, yeah. This is where, well, and Mother Teresa, she looks at Nosh and says, are you okay? He say, Nosh says, of course I'm okay. I'm strong. Asta smacked him in the head saying, yeah, you're strong, but at the same time, Thomas, same time. Nosh says, hey, ow, hey, how about you next time? Don't bring me along when there's a crazy psychopath like him. This is where he points at Gojo, and this is where Mary says, please don't call my older brother a psychopath. This is where Finica says, but he is a psychopath. This is where Mary says, I mean, it's true, but please don't tell him that. It would kind of hurt his heart. Nosh sighs and says, sure, I'll do it. This is where, well, Mary says, thank you, Nosh. This is where Nosh says, yeah. This is where Asta says, interesting. This is where Rebecca says, Asta, are you okay? Asta says, I'm fine. This is where, well, they keep talking inside, but yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Nosh is also kind of friends with Marcos, but yeah. This is where, well, we go to the night, and of course, this is where that one snow dude is kind of making people kind of fall under his kind of like illusion. This is where so many kids are being dragged along. But yeah, Mary, Nosh, and Finica are actually bringing along, and even Marcus. But yeah, of course, where Asta wakes up the next time because Ghost is trying to kill him, and Asta says, "Why the hell are you here? Cursed energy." Blue. He grabs Ghost closer and grabs him by the neck and says, "Why should I not kill you?" Now I should mention one thing. Rebecca already knows about Junko's presence and even the Wells, but yeah, because well, Junko was kind of like she met her a while ago, but yeah. So of course Junko and Noelle are here. Noelle is trying to burn down the house for some reason because yeah, she's still in that whole psychopath yandere state. And this is where Noelle kind of explains about what happened, but yeah, this is where Asta says, "I see. So the children were taken." That's where Rebecca did kind of tell, but yeah. Of course, where we go into Ghost saying, "You old hag, why didn't you protect Mary?" This is where Asa says, "Hey, shut up and get away from her." This is where Asa kicks him straight into a wall, but yeah, because he didn't give a shit much about Ghost. And this is where Mother Teresa says, "Thank you." What a brute if he is. Still, do you know where they would have went? Ghost says, "Wait, I have a mirror on her. Yes, I can find her." This is where he says, "I found you. I was saving Marie." Asa says, "That idiot." Asa flies up because he starts to levitate and says, "Let's go then." This is where Teresa says, "Oh, you can fly? Then I'll be going along with you." This is where Asa was okay with. This is where, well, they're going straight towards, well, behind Gosh. And of course, Asa's flying because he doesn't really need any broom or anything. And Mother Teresa saying, "It's very interesting that you can fly without a broom. I don't really need a broom. It's only necessary. If I actually do need a broom, I'll just need it. But I don't need it right now." This is where, well, Asa's eyes is still in the, well, shades. He doesn't have his, like, blindfold. But yeah, this is where, well, we go into, well, where was it called, Nosh and the other at. This is where Mary is kind of woken up. And this is where she says, "Where am I?" This is where, well, the Snow Two says, "Wait, you're out of my spell." No, I can't let you do that. Then we can't be friends." This is where Mary, she does get attacked. And of course, Figuna also kind of loses the spell. And of course, she says, "What just happened?" This is where the Snow Cat had to grab both of them and says, "Great. What do we do here, brother?" The brother says, "Idiot. We're going to have to use them later. Their magical power is really strong. They have lots of mana." This is where, well, so brother says, "I understand." This is where both of them are kind of tied up with snow, like a snow around them, kind of like tying them up. This is where, well, this is where he says, "Now look around." This is where, well, he then sees Marcus kind of being thrown out. Well, mostly they kind of grab Marcus because he had no mana that much. It was such a little bit. But when they look at Nosh, it was kind of like the average, it's the same as the others. That's where Nosh is trying to keep himself calm and trying to suppress a lot of mana. That's where Nosh was actually awakened. And of course, when he saw Marie and even, what's it called, Fiona, not Fiona, Finica, right now captured, but of course, Mary was kind of like hurt and all that. She was kind of like, had this mark in her like cheek and all that. This is where Nosh was getting so angry. But he couldn't do anything. He didn't have the grimoire with him, the one that also usually lends him. This is where he can't do anything. He's right now doubting himself. No. He says, "I can't help you. I can't help my friends." This is where he's thinking in his head, saying, No, I wish I can help you both." So where now it's just kind of like grabbing his hand a little bit because there's like a little bit of burn mark under his like long sleeve. But yeah, that's where he kind of grabs the burn mark and says, "I won't. No, my brother always did tell me that maybe if I can't be a magic knight, but still I'm stronger. He fought against so many people like Killer and other people that didn't have magic, but they were powerful enough to maybe overpower me. But I won't lose. I never lose. No, if my brother can't lose, then I won't lose neither." I swear, Nosh says, "I won't lose." This is where Nosh gets up, and this is where the Snow Kid says, "Another one managed to broke out." This is where the guy says, his mana. He looks at his mana, and the mana is kind of erupting from Nosh. This is where heat around Nosh is actually erupting, managing to break the spell under the other kids. This is where Mary and Finica say, "No," but of course they can't talk. Nosh's eyes goes from a purplish color like magenta into a bright blue color. This is where Nosh's hair started becoming black, and this is where Nosh's like flames, like they started appearing, but instead of appearing reddish, like a little bit lightish orange and all that, they become a like bright blue color. This is where, well, something appears in front of Nosh. Something that Nosh was kind of shocked, but at the same time didn't care, because he wanted to save his friends and everyone here, that the grimoire of the 4-leaf clover of the fire one that he kind of uses appears. But this time, instead of being a 4-leaf, it was a 6-leaf. The 6 leaf were kind of black and all that. Well, 2 leaves are, what's it called, blue? Well, not blue. They were black, but 2 leaves were actually purple that were in the middle mostly. And of course, this is where, well, the one side of the grimoire was blue, the other side was kind of red. This is where, well, the book opened, and this is where a spell saying, six-headed, well, not six-headed, he says, three-headed beast, flame of hell, dog. This is where Nosh started kind of erupting with flames, and of course created this dog beast. Of course, it had 4 legs, but it had 3 heads, and now roaring at, well, the snow dude, and even the guy that uses kind of mud and is trying to see the mana. This is where he is shocked, and the mana calculation thing broke. This is where Nosh says, I won't lose. Go and marry Finica. This is where, well, the dog rushes and sends a very powerful blue flame from his mouth, right now burning through, well, all the snow and all that. This is where even the ground got melted from the flames. This is where both of, well, the 2 brothers, mostly the white-haired dude was kind of bluish, whitish hair guy did, and the other one was kind of jumping away. This is where, well, Finica and Mary were kind of let go after the flames kind of melted a little bit. Of course, they were kind of getting burnt a little bit, but this is where Nosh says, are you 2 okay? This is where they look at Nosh, and Nosh, what he kind of looks like, it looks like Dobby. This is where, well, Nosh says, are you 2 okay? Nosh's eyes are kind of feeling tired. They look like they're tired and all that, like he haven't slept. It's just because he used way too much mana. It's where Nosh's hands are kind of being burnt, like showing like burnt clothes, and also showing the underneath burnt scars a while ago that happened. This is where, well, Nosh actually has a flame crown on his head. This is where, well, he says, are you 2 okay? He's breathing hard. This is where, well, Mary and Finica say, Nosh, are you okay? Nosh says, I'm fine. I'm very fine. This is where, well, Mary says, if you're not fine, then you should dispel the magic. No. Fine enough. Yeah, I'm fine. He's smiling with a gentle smile, but yeah. This is where Mary says, Nosh. This is where, well, Nosh says, I'm fine. This is where all the other kids are saying, Nosh. This is where, because they kind of know about Nosh, but yeah. This is where, well, they're confused where they're at, but of course, where, well, the snow dude tries to use a snow attack at, well, the dog, but the dog ripped through it and burns it. This is where the Earth dude realized that Nosh is the one to be causing trouble. He says, damn, it'll be a waste, but this time I'm gonna have to kill him. He throws a, like, earth spike straight towards, well, Nosh, well, mostly, Mary, and this is where Asta says, no, Mary. He pushes Mary away, and Mary says, Nosh. This is where Nosh gets stabbed in the stomach. This is where Nosh coughs up blood. This is where the flame dog seems to dissipate a little bit. This is where Nosh goes, he falls down. Sorry, brother Asta. He starts passing out. The dog dissipates, and this is where Asta appears, grabbing Nosh, saying, you did fine, Nosh. This is where Asta's voice became such a deep, cold-blooded murder. This is where Asta's eyes changed from the crystallized blue towards a crimson red with a pattern that no one has ever seen. A pattern that, well, people will be scared of. But of course, with these crimson red eyes, has rings in them. Rings and Tomoyas in them. The Renin Sharingan has awoken. Yes, I know the Renin Sharingan cannot be awakened by just normal means. They have to be coming from a special thing. But, and this one was calm. Actually, should I say, no, not the Renin Sharingan. Actually, a different type of Sharingan. A different type of Sharingan entirely. It actually turned into the EMS. But this EMS Sharingan became, instead of calling the internal Sharingan, it's called the internalist Sharingan. The Sharingan full of hatred and malice. The only time that can be awoken is by pure hatred, by pure malice and hatred. From the normal Sharingan that, Asta, the MS, it turned into the Internalist. This is where now Asta's eyes are full of hatred, murder. This is where instead of like the pattern being kind of black, it's red, and the red is actually black. This is where Asta turns around, seeing the two people that hurt his little brother. Nothing that's in Asta's eyes are nothing but pure murder and hatred. This is where, Mary says, Asta? This is where Asta walks away from Mary, and this is where Asta cracks the ground due to the pressure of Asta's power erupting from him. Steel from underneath Asta starting to erupt. Molten steel or even dust steel or even actual solid steel is starting to erupt from Asta. Different types of metallic entirely. Asta's awakening from his metallic magic is actually being awoken also. This is where Asta's grimoire, his metallic grimoire, actually changes from a 4-leaf clover towards a straight up 7-leaf. Well, not 4-leaf. It was already 7 leaves, but of course it just changed to just becoming a kind of like dragon head instead of having the 7 leaves. A dragon head. This is where the dragon head kind of was surrounded with different metallics around it, like different types of colors of metallics. This is where, Asta says, "You're dead." This is where, Asta seems to show no care in his eyes. This is where, the snow detractor says, "Snow creation." This is where multiple steel swords appear, stabbing into this guy. He falls down. Dang, he's strong, brother. This is where, the older one says, I'm sorry, I have to leave. This is where Asta says, "Where do you think you're going?" Kamui of internal flames. This is where before the guy tried to run away, a Kamui appears like a vortex, and of course, from that vortex exploded black flames. This is where it burns this man, kind of sending him straight to hell. This is where the guy is being burned by the black flames, and of course, it's like a mixture of Kamui and Amaterasu, but the Kamui actually sends black flames. This is where Asta says, "Where do you think you're going? Are you just leaving? Are you finally leaving? Sorry, but I can't let you do that." Asta pulls out a titanium sword with 2 titanium swords out of nowhere. Asta says, "I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that." Asta's eyes are kind of bleeding black blood instead of actual red blood. "Let me show you what I mean. I can't do that." Asta's sword started glowing into like a what's called like lightning color, a bright lightning color, thanks to the high infinity that this internal Sharingan actually gives out. That's what Asta says. Die. Asta cuts his head off. Of course, before cutting his head off, blue flames actually appear behind Asta. This is where it's mostly Nosh trying to cover up everyone from not seeing the gruesome sight. This is where Mary and even Phoenix says, "Nosh, stop!" This is where Nosh says, "Fine. I'm fine." This is where Nosh's wounds are actually being healed, thanks to someone's reverse curse energy. Yes, Asta was kind of giving him a little bit of curse energy before he was already pissed. This is where, Mother Teresa managed to get there and of course started healing the children and seeing Nosh being the worst and tried to heal him. This is where when Goshi's sight of Asta, he will also be pissed, but he wouldn't be royally fucking pissed like Asta is. Like Asta's hatred, bloodlust, and everything has just spiked up to straight hell. Everything went hell after just seeing that. This is where half the kids were scared of Asta because Asta wasn't talking or anything. But of course, this is where Asta appears, right now turning off his eyes, and this is where he starts putting reverse curse energy into Nosh. Nosh's wounds were already being healed by the blue flames. Instead of burning him, he was actually being healed by his own blue flames. This is where Asta says, could it be that you finally awoken to an actual true form at the grimoire? Nosh says, "Of course. I will always be able to win. I am your brother. I won't be pushed back down." This is where Nosh passes out and falls asleep, but yeah. This is where Mary and, Finica are right now scared of us. Not Asta, mostly Nosh, so he wouldn't die, but yeah, they're kind of worried about him, but yeah. Of course, we go into, a time skip of them being back towards the Black Bulls. Of course, where Mary always was happy with, Nosh, but yeah. Since Mary is basically an ex-noble, because yes, she is an ex-noble, just like her brother, Finica is actually not an ex-noble. She's actually a noble and she's actually from a very powerful family. The only reason why she's with Mother Teresa is because, well, Mother Teresa is kind of connected towards Vermilion. So yeah, her last name is Vermilion. Of course, Nosh overheard about this, and of course, Finica was saddened that she had to go back to the Vermilion. But of course, this is where instead of Nosh seeing her in a different light, Nosh is actually still happy and says, "I hope I can also become a magic knight. Maybe see you in the Vermilion, well, what's called the Crimson Lions." This is where Nosh kind of smiles at her, and this is where, well, Finica smiles and hugs Nosh, saying, "Thank you. Without you, I would have probably lost my life. Thank you." She starts hugging me, kind of tearing up. Of course, where she's not like a very crybaby like anyone. She is just like the Vermilion and all that. But one thing that she has kind of in common with a female Vermilion person is, well, Mariona. Because Mariona is basically like an older sister to her. But yeah, because yes, she is the youngest sister of, well, Fogolian, Leon, and yeah. This is where, well, yeah, they have 4-kid system, but yeah. This is where, well, she was crying, of course, she was like tearing up still. Now she's trying to help her out, but yeah, now she's kind of confused with this, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into the Black Bulls, and of course the Black Bulls are, well, going towards the Queen of Witches because, well, someone kind of got brought back to the Queen of Witches forcibly. And there's 2 people that are here to kind of ask the Black Bulls for help. But this is where I'm going to leave it off for part 2, or not part 2, part 4 of this What If. But part 5 will be whenever, but whatever. But other than that, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato, and good night. Bye. Potato.